Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the headlines coming out of this year's Mining Indaba. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
Now, can you tell us about the promising renewable diesel pilot production plant that was announced at this week's Mining Indaba?
This is thrilling news. Now, you've got Sasol, which is really well versed with fuels, but not from plants. And you've got Anglo American with De Beers that have got a lot of land that needs rehabilitating. They've got to do things in terms of the agreement with the government. There's also a lot of used water. So you've got all the ingredients for growing these two special plants that they've selected, from which they are going to get fluids that they make renewable diesel. Can you believe it? So it's just drop in. You've got existing equipment and it's using diesel that is unacceptable. The emissions from that are unacceptable. Now you come along and you just put in this new biofuel that gives you 90% fewer emissions. So it's not as green hydrogen. And Anglo is also working on that green hydrogen with the trucks, but it comes pretty close. And it's just really, I think, very good of them to work on this together, because both of them are powerful corporates. And so they can really get this going, and it'll be for the benefit of South Africa. I think it'll be a benefit for Southern Africa, and it could be something that is pursued. When you look at what De Beers has got, in terms of rehabilitated land that has to be done, plus the dirty water, we could call it, this could be a great thing.
Also emphasized at the Mining Indaba was the need for Africa to add value to its metals and minerals on the continent.
Well, the opening addresses were just about beneficiation, more beneficiation. Africa's come to the point where they just don't want to dig it out, put it on a train, put it on a ship and get it out there. The population needs more. And we know that some countries want to do that because they've got small populations, maybe, but even those are changing. We have got bigger populations that need to take part in what is in the ground. And to just ship it out so fast is not on anymore. They want efforts to add value in Africa, for the betterment of Africa. And I think that is a clear message that came through. It's coming through more and more right around the world, but particularly in Africa, where we've got a third of what is needed, in terms of metals and minerals in the world. We've got all sorts of benefits building up in terms of logistics. And so now's the time to add value in Africa, for Africa. And it was incredible that one of the presenters made people put their hands on their hearts that they were going to do this for Africa, and that he said, all right, I'm a visionary, but by 2050, I want Africa to be the biggest economy in the world. So, all right, we might not make that, but still, the determination is there.
And lastly, Menar's major focus for this year is to make South Africa a producer of ferromanganese.
And this is what we're talking about. We had that in our hands. South Africa was the biggest producer of ferromanganese. You can't produce manganese steel without ferromanganese. So it's your added value on the way to steel manufacture, steel the world needs. Now, we lost that because of Eskom, but fantastically, not only has Menar taken over the Menar smelter that is really a promising smelter still, but they're saying this is going to be our main focus this year, to get this ferrochrome out of there. And it's going to make a lot of people need to be collaborative, including Eskom, including Transnet, but the infrastructure is all there. It just needs to be switched on. And on top of this, you've got two of those furnaces in there that are only 10 years old, and they've been underutilized, because it was on care and maintenance pretty early. So you've got an absolute opportunity to take what was a very sizable smelter, well-working smelter, and get it going again. And hopefully it will be this year.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Mining Weekly daily email newsletter.